everyone, I'm Lily and welcome. A lot of people want to speak English like a native speaker, and today we're going to look at the best solutions and give you the most useful tips.
And I'm Sam. I'm super excited to dive into this topic with you today. How to speak like a pro.
It doesn't matter how long you've been studying English or if you're just starting. Today's lesson is great for improving your speaking and taking your skills to the next level.
That's right. Whether you're a beginner or you've been learning English for a while, speaking fluently and confidently is something we all want to achieve. Today, we'll be sharing expert tips and techniques to help you sound more natural and confident when you speak English.
Exactly. And the best part is, these tips are easy to apply, no matter where you are in your learning journey. So let's jump into our first tip. Tip number 1. Focus on pronunciation, not just vocabulary. A lot of learners focus so much on memorizing vocabulary that they forget how important it is to pronounce the words correctly.
That's a good point, Lily. When you pronounce words well, people understand you better, and it boosts your confidence. For example, listen to native speakers and try to copy how they talk. Pay attention to the way they stress syllables, the rhythm of the sentence, and their intonation. There are great apps like Forvo, where you can listen to native speakers pronounce words and phrases. You can also watch YouTube videos or listen to podcasts to hear how words are pronounced in natural speech.
Exactly. So next time you learn a new word, make sure you're also practicing the correct pronunciation. You'll be surprised at how much it improves your speaking skills.
Tip number 2. Practice speaking in short conversations.
This is so important because real conversations are where we actually use the language. And remember, you don't have to wait until you feel perfect to speak. Start with small conversations with friends, family, or even yourself in the mirror.
You can ask simple questions like, "How was your day?" or "What did you have for lunch?" These small questions will get you used to thinking and speaking in English without pressure.
And the more you do it, the more natural it will become. You'll feel more comfortable with speaking over time, and your fluency will improve.
Of course. Now, let's move on to tip number 3. Expand your vocabulary with collocations.
Collocations are words that are often used together in natural speech, like make a decision or take a photo. So, focus on learning collocations instead of just individual words. This will make your speaking sound much more natural and fluent. You can find lists of common collocations online or in language books. Once you start using them, you'll see how much easier it is to speak naturally.
Tip number 4. Speak slowly and clearly.
Of course. A lot of learners think they need to speak quickly to sound fluent, but that's not the case. In fact, speaking too fast can make it harder for others to understand you. Take your time, focus on saying each word clearly, and remember, fluency doesn't mean speed. It's about being clear and confident in your speech.
And the more you practice speaking at a comfortable pace, the more confident you'll feel in real conversations. And don't be afraid to pause and think before you speak.
Tip number 5. Use fillers like a native speaker. Native speakers often use words like, well, or actually while they speak. These fillers are used to give you a moment to think or keep the conversation flowing, so don't worry about using them. They're completely normal.
But remember not to overuse them. The idea is to use them naturally when you need a second to think. This will make you sound more fluent and relaxed when speaking.
So, next time you're speaking, don't be afraid to use a filler if you need to collect your thoughts. It'll sound much more natural. Tip number 6. Learn to use idiomatic expressions. These are phrases that don't always make sense if you translate them directly, but they're very common in spoken English.
Exactly. For example, a piece of cake means something is very easy. Or, it's not my cup of tea means you don't like something.
Learning idioms helps you sound more like a native speaker. It shows that you understand the culture and the way people speak. But be careful. Make sure you understand the meaning of the idiom before using it. You don't want to sound awkward or use them in the wrong context.
Tip number 7. Use intonation to express emotion.
Intonation is the rise and fall of your voice when you speak. It's a powerful tool in spoken English.
Exactly! If you say something in a flat tone, it sounds boring, right? But if you use the right intonation, it shows emotion and makes your speech much more engaging.
For example, if you're surprised, you might say, "Wow, that's amazing," with a higher pitch. Or if you're sad, you might say, "Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that," with a softer tone.
So, next time you speak, pay attention to your intonation. It will really help you sound more natural. So, next time you speak, pay attention to your intonation. It will really help you sound more natural.
Tip number 8. Improve your listening skills. The more you listen to English, the better you will understand how sentences are structured, how words are pronounced, and how people naturally speak. To improve your listening skills, try to listen to English content every day. This can be anything from podcasts, movies, television shows, or even songs. The goal is to train your ear to understand different accents, speeds, and speaking styles.
Also, don't just listen passively. Try to repeat what you hear or shadow the speaker.
This means you repeat their words at the same time they say them. This will help you practice the rhythm and flow of natural speech. Listening to a variety of speakers is really important. It exposes you to different ways of speaking, helping you sound more natural and less like you're reading from a textbook.
So, make listening a daily habit and try to focus on the details, the tone of voice, stress patterns, and intonation.
Tip number 9. Be confident and don't fear mistakes.
This is the biggest thing that holds many learners back.
It's totally normal to make mistakes. Every fluent speaker was once a beginner, and they made mistakes too.
Exactly. The key is to keep practicing, learning from your mistakes, and not being afraid to speak. The more you speak, the more confident you'll become.
And remember, no one expects you to be perfect. The goal is to communicate, and you're doing great.
And finally, tip number 10. Practice speaking in front of a mirror.
This might sound a bit strange, but practicing in front of a mirror is a fantastic way to improve your speaking skills. When you speak English, it's important to be aware of your body language, facial expressions, and how comfortable you feel while talking. To do this, stand in front of a mirror and practice speaking out loud. You can talk about your day, describe a picture, or even repeat phrases you've learned. The key is to see how your mouth moves and whether you're making the right sounds, while also making sure you look confident when speaking.
So, don't be shy. Try this out every day, even for just 5 minutes. It's a fun and useful way to practice, and it can help you feel more comfortable speaking English in front of others.
So there you have it, 10 powerful tips to help you speak English like a pro. By focusing on pronunciation, practicing daily conversations, using collocations, and speaking confidently, you'll see a huge improvement in your speaking skills.
We hope these tips help you on your English learning journey. If you have any questions or suggestions for future episodes, leave a comment below.
And don't forget to subscribe to Talk Easy English for more fun and practical tips. We'll see you in the next episode.